for that. I'm indeed very happy to be able to participate at this Anusuya Sushant IASF Adruta event of this evening. I've been thoroughly enjoying all the pieces of the program. I can't point to every piece, but it has been wonderful. Enjoyed the remarks of Anisha's teacher, sociology teacher, Lorraine, that we are part of the same thing, we're all connected. And enjoyed the Jyoti Mandir Guru, don't know your name, remember your name, but your remark that you wanted to see, to make a difference in the lives of those who don't have the privilege that we have. Enjoyed the comments by Susan about his father, what a noble person who made so much difference in small way for each of them, but in a big way at the end for the lives of all the students. And enjoyed the pieces of music, the very first piece, and all the songs that are going on, and enjoyed also immensely, I'm sure all of you, the comedian hire. All of these add up to saying that there is something unique about the spirit of giving to others. And you see, all the remarks we heard about the Indo-American Sebag Foundation, such a great thing. So let me turn to saying something. At the outset, I would like to thank our hosts, Anusuya and Susanta, for initiating this event in collaboration with IASF for the sole purpose of raising funds for support of a very worthy institution, the Adruta Children's Home in the east part of India, where actually I come from, Odisha. I think I will say a few words, but this is truly very noble of us, Anusuya and Sushanta. And also, I'd like to thank the Indo-American Sebag Foundation for joining hands with them. I was so impressed to see the documentary, all the work they are doing, and I also happened to meet some of them, not all of them, starting with Prasanta and Nisikanta and Sitikanta, sorry, and Kamal and Arundhati and Vikas. I really saw a spirit in all of them. Thanks you very much, all of you. And it was a pleasure meeting you. And I like to see this association of IASF be strengthened from now on with the Adruta Children Home. And last but not least, I like to really congratulate Anish, and we will be looking forward to his video, who took the trouble of going to Adruta Children Home and really filming many pieces and sacrificing many of his valuable time. This is the kind of initiative that many people have actually cited. It makes a difference with the younger generations taking this kind of an example and following it. So with that, just say, give my experience about Adruta. I had the pleasure of visiting Adruta Children's Home for the first time 2 years back. And from the very instant I saw the faces of the children, I realized there is something special about it. All of this started by the daring spirit and the big heart of just one person, Dr. Aditya Mahanti. At that time, he was professor of philosophy and in fact head of the Department of Philosophy at Banivir University in Odisha. And he started it in a small scale with his own modest savings. Luckily, he was joined by a few individuals, extremely dedicated and selfless people. Gayatri Tripathi, to name just a few. Gayatri Tripathi and Dr. Sagarika Mishra. She was also still PhD in philosophy. And Supriti Mahanti and Sangeeta Mishra and Mr. Swain, Narendra Swain, and many others. I have interacted very closely with all of them, it so happens. Because since those 2 years, I have had very close connections with them. I got very touched by the work, and I will say a few words about those. But it turned out, because of the team work of all these people, together with Dr. Mahanti, Adruta has achieved something which is truly remarkable. It now has, as you have heard, 10 well-managed centers across the state of Odisha, having 450 children, nearly an even mix of boys and girls, with ages from 1 month to about 21 years old. And when I visited for the first time, I was really touched to see how these abundant children, including some infants, newborn babies, are being brought up in an environment of love and care that shines on their faces and in the cheerful spirits of all of them. I actually visited their bedrooms and bathrooms, and they were spotlessly clean. They're all managed by the children. All of these gave me the impression that Adruta Home is really a well-run family home, the Adruta family home, and not that of an orphanage. This is what is unique about Adruta. And since Adruta has been in existence for some 20 years, some of the Adruta girls are now of ages 15 or 20. And they're extremely talented, many of them. They go to some of the best schools, and some of them have started going to colleges. They outperform many of them. They are batchmates. In fact, the Adruta students are regarded as exemplars in their schools. The principal tells their other children, "We like Adruta children." And I will give you one or two examples of real accomplishment which touched me. I knew about her, but I saw her this time. She is 8 years old, a girl, and her story is this. She was found by a farmer walking near the bank of a river, bundled up inside a piece of cloth. The farmer opens up out of curiosity and finds an infant, rushes to the village, and one of the villagers knew about Adruta Home. they got in touch with the people at Adruta. She was brought there. Immediately, with Dr. Mahanti accompanying, she was rushed to the hospital. Doctor said, sorry, you have brought her too late. She's dead. And Dr. Mahanti really cried and begged, please do anything possible. With God's grace, she survived. She was put in the incubator, and that cost money. And that's how many times Adruta incurs a lot of expense. It needs funding. But she survived. And now, 8 years later, she's the best student in her class. Outperforms everyone. And the principal of the school called Dr. Mahanti saying, look, we are having a dilemma because she has got the first place, first prize for everything. Is it okay if we give her some of the first prizes but distribute that among some of the other children? Dr. Mahanti said, of course. And now she's not only a brilliant student, she is a great Odissi dance performer. And I saw her performance. Amazing. And she's so loving. And so then I started thinking, and she's not the only one, there are other examples. I started thinking that imagine, this girl would have perished. With the grace of God, and because of Adruta, she is what she is now. And that's also true of the ones who are now 15 year and 20 year and so on. They are all happy, being brought up with love and care. They are getting not only nourishment, food and shelter, but quality education and love and care, as I'm repeating. And that is not all. Together with this, they also get professional training, cultural training in art, music, dance, handicrafts. And they came actually, the Odissi dancers, the group of dance group, has got so many awards, that high accolades throughout the world. In Singapore, Malaysia, and they came to US, and in fact they came to the Bay Area 2 years ago, and they dazzled the audience. The hall was packed, and it was absolutely an unbelievable performance of dance in Odissi style and also in folk dance style. And then they also, I came to know them well. My wife, who is in the audience somewhere, I think. I haven't seen her while I was sitting in the front row. But where are you? Can you raise your hand? No, I'm trying to ask my wife to raise her hand. Oh, there she is, all the way in the back. Okay. She is really connected with Adruta and provided a lot of inspiration. She's the one who introduced me to Adruta. Well, and she writes fantastic science books for children, and also illustrates and so on. Anyway, coming back to Adruta, we came to know them well because they stayed with us for a few days. They also stayed with Rina and Mahesh Pakala for a few days. And it's just amazing, I mean, the way they all interacted with us. Then when we now go back, I just saw them again a second time at Adruta home 2 months back. And I can't express, they all completely hugged and so on. And it's just a different feeling when you see them. Now, I also went to another center, just to two other centers. The boys' home in Bhubaneswar, they have a girls' home, which is probably the main center, and then the boys' home. visited that. Again, a great spirit, neat clean. And we visited, my wife and I, also the one in Puri. And this Puri school is full of, a large percentage of them were tribal students. Imagine they wouldn't have got any education. But they were, when I asked them, what are you interested in, what are the fields? And they say they like science, maths, computer science, and so on. And they were excellent in sports. Talking of sports, again, another accomplishment, just as an example. You see, just a few months ago, one of the tribal students, Bikram Maji, he got the highest position in high jump in an all India competition of students coming from such orphanages or children's home. Without any professional training, he actually cleared, I think, more than 5 feet 7 inches above my head. And he got the highest award. He will be representing India in an international competition. So you see that these are real stories of accomplishment I have seen myself. But then, with all these, so to kind of put it in one word, I would have to say that Adruta is a one-of-a-kind institution, which is rare in the world, that combines humanitarian services of the highest kind with excellent cultural training for its children, and simultaneously it teaches discipline and self-dependence so that they can emerge as well-respected members of the society and in turn can help other such institutions to grow. I've asked many of them. One of the most talented girls, called Anjali, she says that's what she wants to do when she grows up. She's now that too completes her education. She wants to compete in this IAS examination, but she says she wants to work for one of these children's homes like this. And that, you see, imagine if when all these children come out, many of them helping with such institutions, what a difference it will make. So the success of such institutions, and in particular Adruta, which is so special, is absolutely crucial. Now, talking of its success, I have to mention, because I've been closely associated with their situation, they're starting from 2 years ago, that in the midst of all these accomplishments, they face severe financial challenge. Not only to sustain what they have built, but to go beyond it, to enhance the program. They depend entirely on philanthropy from organizations, banks, corporations, and individuals like yourselves. And they really need a helping hand from all of us. In particular, right now, they are keen with our motivations and inspirations to enhance in certain areas of education, because although they are getting good cultural training, they really need enhancement in the area of science, math, through specialized tutors, because they don't get same training in the schools, turns out. And for competitive examinations, it became very clear when I talked to them that they're not getting the exposure to science, maths. Science means also medical science, biological science, and engineering, and so on. So they are keen to do enhancement in education. They are keen to also to tell you about some of their needs. They really need some help with the school transportation system, the buses. There are 10 schools, they need 10 buses, they have only 3. They pay enormous amount as rent for the buses. And that's one thing they want to solve as quickly as possible. These 3 buses have been given by banks or corporations. Then they also want to go for One of the ideas is to have a small library in each center with good books to inspire them. So these are the things which we also have been discussing with them. But to sum up, they really are badly in need of funds, and your help will be absolutely crucial there. So I'd like to close by quoting something from Mother Teresa, who said, "I alone can't change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create ripples. Let each of us cast a stone in the pond of Adruta to create such ripples." Let us make the event of today the beginning of a long-term relationship between us, the Bay Areans, and Adruta. And let us join hands with the Adruta team by giving regular contributions to support Adruta's progress, so that it may continue to carry out its mission and emerge as a role model, not only for Odisha, but for India and the whole world. And in turn, more and more such institutions may grow and flourish, alleviating the problem of abandoned, helpless children. Thank you.